LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica. This is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning as your $1,400 third stimulus check will continue to land in bank accounts today. I'll have the bank accounts and I'll tell you the incredible great news breaking overnight. $1,400 third stimulus checks will continue to land in bank accounts today and more this week. How do I know the details? I'll go bank by bank across the board. Meantime, guess who's just sworn in? The person who has the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant. Did they ask her about it? Was there a scarf in sight? I have all the latest details as well. Meantime, great news as we started the new day. As yet, AstraZeneca may be added to the list of the latest vaccines to be approved in the country. The new housing numbers are in, and they're not good. What does it say about fourth stimulus? Meantime, 22 states may be rolling back COVID orders and shutting back down across the board. I'll have all the details. And elsewhere, one of the big cruise industry leaders is reopening this June, but with new restrictions. Great news, and I'll have that as well. Elsewhere, Tesla surges after Cathie Wood makes a big, bold prediction. I'll have all those details. The coffee's brewing, the butter is buttering, I'm here, you're here, and the fish are swimming. It's a new day across the board. I'm so excited for you because there's so much happening and there's so much brewing. All that hasn't been sizzling yet is my bacon, and I continue to look for it. It's a new day, it's a new morning, and I'm so excited for you as Mornings LA gets into high gear starting right now. Good morning, how are you? The White House is about to go live with a press briefing. If it goes live during this recording, I'll cut in and give you the latest breaking details because that's how we do it here. Good morning, how are you? Did you have a good weekend? Did you crush the weekend? Did you don't let the money crush you. Crush it back. How are you? I hope you're having a great, beautiful new day. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single recording. I'll be live with you throughout the day, mornings, noontime, and then afternoon. And consider liking. Make sure you like the video. It really helps in the algorithm ranking. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. All right, let's get to the breaking, developing news hitting right now. $1,400 third stimulus checks will continue to land in bank accounts today and have already started to land as well. $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing by direct deposit, and yes, they'll be landing in your mailbox today as well. What's going on? Over the weekend, this channel singularly was the source of a lot of breaking developments about the delivery of the $1,400 third stimulus check. First, viewers who thought it was going to come by direct deposit were surprised to learn it was in their mailbox Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They were then surprised to learn that when they went to the irs.gov tracking tool, they learned that the stimulus check is not coming by direct deposit, even though they expected it for it to be direct deposited, even though the first and second had come in by direct deposit. This one, IRS changed it to now showing it's coming in the mail. What's going on? Here's what happened over the weekend and continue to happen this morning. Countless, thousands of viewers who had tracked their stimulus check on irs.gov saw it change from no information or delivery for March 17th, last St. Patrick's Day last week, to now showing delivery by direct deposit on March 24th or showing paper check 25th, 26th, 27th. Those were the reoccurring dates that were happening. That was the first thing. Second, viewers started to hear from big banks that they bank at, and those were Wells Fargo and Chase, that there's going to be a big drop of direct deposits for major banks across the country on March 24th. If it sounds familiar, it should. It's exactly 1 week to the day when the last big drop happened. More about that in a second. And finally, people starting getting actual alerts from their banks as well, saying that their deposits will be landing on March 24th. Whether it's Direct Express telling its consumers and viewers this channel it's coming on March 24th, or other banks telling their consumers and viewers this channel it's coming on March 24th. This is what happened over the weekend and continues to happen this morning. So this is incredible, exciting, great news. Stimulus checks will be landing in bank accounts today and in mailboxes today. You need to watch that mail like a hawk because it could be in the mailbox outside today. It may also be in your direct deposit today as well. More about that in a second. But the day started with incredible great news from AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is now on path to be the latest vaccine to be approved in the country. It did very well in late-stage U.S. trial reports we learned this morning with a 79% efficiency rate and an 80% efficiency rate among 65-year-olds and older. Adam Baker, healthcare analyst at Shore Capital, says this is arguably the first trial for AstraZeneca which has shown compelling results for those 65 years and older. Based upon prior FDA numbers and date and timelines for Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca could be approved in approximately 22 days from now. Meantime, the day also started with Tesla shares surging. Tesla shares, which have been under fire throughout the year and have been down dramatically this year, popped 4% early today after Cathie Woods' ARK investment made a long-expected, big, bold prediction. She says the stock will go to $3,000 by 2025. ARK investment, of course, is heavily invested in the company Tesla, and it is impacted by this positive news. Meantime, Royal Caribbean is about to set sail. Very exciting news. So if you have been watching what is called reopen plays, these are stocks of companies that are about to reopen its business. Very popular among young investors, especially millennial investors. Royal Caribbean popped today on news that this June it will start to set sail for some of its cruises for the first time since the start of the pandemic. But there'll be a change. Those crews will be fully vaccinated, and guests will have to be fully vaccinated, and children under 18 will need to have a negative test result. But there's also breaking news, and these are the banks that have paid $1,400 third stimulus checks to the viewers of this channel, and the list continued to grow this morning. They are Citizens Bank has paid stimulus checks, PNG, Bancorp Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People United Bank, and US Bank. Also having paid stimulus checks of $1,400 third stimulus checks to viewers of this channel are PNC, Capital One Bank, Lake Michigan Credit Union, and USAA. Also having paid are Union Bank, MetaBank, Amex Bluebird, Navy Federal, BB&T Woodforest, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank America, Emerald Green Card from H&R Block, and also TurboTax. Now, what's interesting about this list is that the list was very small before March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And if you remember what happened on the 15th of March or the 16th of March, some viewers sat back and said, wait a second, why did Chime and Cash App release the stimulus check? I bank at the big bank and I have not seen mine. Well, guess what the big bank said? Going into the 17th, they said, we're doing a big drop on the 17th because that's the date, the effective date of the deposit we got from IRS of your $14 stimulus check. And they did do it. They did do it. Guess what they're doing now? They're saying the same sort of thing as well. Viewers of this channel have now gotten a lot of alerts from big banks that are saying a big deposit drop will be March 24th, exactly 1 week later. Incredible great news. Incredible great news. But viewers start to continue to see deposits occur over the weekend, and more saw deposits this morning. The incredible great news continues to surge across the board. But it looks like March 24th will sort of be like the 17th, where the 16th and the 15th were relatively slow initially, and then the 17th was very large. If you were with me on March 17th, this list started slow in the beginning of the day, but by the middle of the day, it started to surge. Remember, bank deposits can appear on your bank account anytime throughout the day. They may not be there at the time of this live recording, but they may be there later. They may be on noontime, they may be on afternoons at LALATE. We got a full day in which they can appear, and that's really still pending. Also still pending is the lack of pending. What do I mean? A lot of banks, 9 out of 10 banks, have deposited the $1,400 stimulus checks into people's bank accounts without a pending status or without a pending alert. And what's really important about this is that if you do not have a pending alert, if you do not have one of these sort of messages landing in your inbox that there's a pending deposit for Direct Express on March 24th, if you don't get this, guess what? You may still have it just appear without a pending alert. 9 out of 10 viewers get the stimulus without a pending alert. It just appears. But the big surprise is that countless, tens of thousands of viewers of this channel who are not expecting it to come in the mail, were expecting it to come by direct deposit, are seeing it come in the mail. I'll have more about that in a second, but boy, there's so much still happening. I want to give you a little bit of what's happening later in this recording. I'll have the big updates about what's going on in the housing market and the big shocker about several states reverting its policies about reopening. All those details and more details about how you can know when your stimulus check is landing in your mailbox or your bank account. I'll have all those details coming up right after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement started early this morning as Early Mornings returned. Early Mornings LALATE this morning has become the most watched broadcast in recent memory of this channel. So thank you for tuning in to Early Mornings LALATE. If you missed it, it's now archived on the channel. Happening right now is the entrance of the White House's press secretary to give a big briefing. Let's tune in to this briefing happening right now from the White House. Let's listen in to what's happening at this very moment.
How the American Rescue Plan provides help to put food on the table. The Vice President will travel to Jacksonville, Florida to visit a vaccination center and convene a listening session at a food distribution center. And the second gentleman is traveling, not will travel because it's happening today, to Des Moines, Iowa, where Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, former governor, and Congresswoman Cindy Axne will visit a food relief organization. The American Rescue Plan will reduce hunger, strengthen the food supply chain, and provide support to underserved, socially disadvantaged farmers. It will extend the 15% increase in SNAP benefits through the end of September, about $28 per month per person, provide $888 million to deliver expanded access to more fruits and vegetables to moms and babies participating in WIC, $37 million for senior nutrition, and $1 billion in nutrition assistance for the territories. It will support farmers of color with $4 billion toward debt relief for socially disadvantaged farmers to pay off burdensome debts, and $1 billion in funding to USDA to create a racial equity commission and address longstanding discrimination. Tomorrow, the Help Is Here tour will continue with President Biden traveling to Columbus, Ohio, to highlight how the American Rescue Plan will help to lower healthcare costs. He will deliver remarks on the anniversary of the Affordable Care Act being signed into law, of course, something he had a major role in, and encourage Americans to sign up for insurance at healthcare.gov during the special enrollment period his administration opened amid the pandemic. Additionally, Health and Human Services Secretary, newly confirmed Secretary Javier Becerra, will travel to Carson City, Nevada, and the second gentleman will be in Omaha, Nebraska, talking about how the rescue plan lowers health care costs. And then on Equal Pay Day, Wednesday, the President and the First Lady will host an event at the White House, and the second gentleman will travel to St. Louis, Missouri. They will showcase how the rescue plan provides help for women and families by increasing the child tax credit and expanding child care assistance. And we may have some special guests in the briefing room on Wednesday, who of course will be women, just to give you a little preview. But go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. Two subject areas. In the spirit of transparency to rebuild public trust, when will reporters be allowed to tour facilities holding children who cross the southern border?
And what you've been watching so far is a live press briefing from the press room happening right now, indicating that the President's continuing his Help Is Here tour across the country about your stimulus. But the big question is, what day am I physically getting my $1,400 third stimulus check? Let me give you the big update. The likely date of deposit is March 24th. Why? Because we've seen that date appear now not one, not two, but three places. First, we've seen it appear on thousands and thousands of viewers' results from irs.gov. When they track their latest update, IRS is now showing that a direct deposit will occur on March 24th. Second, they're hearing it from their big banks. Their big banks are telling them that there's a deposit coming in a big wave on March 24th. Third, there are people who are getting alerts from Direct Express and other banks that are saying your actual deposit for the $1,400 stimulus check is March 24th. Now, what you need to know is that ultimately, some viewers sometimes don't get alerts not because of who you are, but just the bank just didn't send alert. It just happens. So what I want you to use is take that information, as the viewers of this channel are absolutely wonderful family members, and together try to help one another share the information. Say, you know what? I bank at your bank, and I am hearing a massive drop is happening on the 24th. I heard it directly from the bank. I want you to know that as well. You may not actually get the alert from the bank like that viewer did, but that's the way you get the information and funnel the information to apply to you. Next, the big surprise is that more viewers are finding out that it's coming by paper check than it's coming by direct deposit. Thousands and thousands of viewers of this channel who thought it was supposed to come by direct deposit to their direct deposit bank are getting alerts in not one but two locations suggesting that it's coming by paper check. First, they're seeing it on irs.gov, where it says the deposit is the 25th, 26th, or 27th, which the most common date of the direct deposit dates, let's look at the calendar, is the 26th. They're most often getting the alert that it shows the 26th. The other way that people are finding out that it's coming in the mailbox and not by direct deposit is that they're watching the direct deposits over the weekend and it's showing in the mailbox. Yes, viewers are still watching the direct deposit only to be surprised it's coming in the mail. Now, it's important to understand that you need to be a real careful hawk of the mail over the next 7 days. This is how the envelopes often look. This is the envelope used for the second stimulus debit card. The check, the paper check, and the debit card sometimes use a white envelope, sometimes use a beige envelope. You see how thin it is. It's super laser thin. You could absolutely discard it if you're not careful. It has no markings on it like a seal that would suggest it has moolah on it. It says in the corner information about your economic impact payment, a word that a lot of us don't use, but economic impact payment is another word for stimulus check. And so ultimately, this may land in your mailbox, not in your bank account. And that's what you need to know. Meantime, I'll have more about that in a second. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single recording. You see how I'm really breaking in to this recording with live feeds of the White House. I'm going live. The White House is going live. This is literally just happening right this moment. The video you saw from the press briefing room discussing the Help Us Here tour going across this country. Earlier today, the vice president swore in the replacement for Javita Carranza, the new head of SBA. One of the real shockers about this one is if you go to sba.gov, number one, it says PPP is about to close on March 31st. What? It's not supposed to close on March 31st. It's in the third stimulus package and is supposed to go live now. Not particularly clear. Number two, if you look for the shuttered venue grant from the second stimulus, it's still not live. Number three, the third stimulus, the EIDL grant of $5,000 that Casillas is supposed to deliver to you, the $5,000 EIDL grant, the current SBA website suggests it may never occur. What's going on here? Needless to say, maybe the website's about to change itself, but I want you to understand that I am on top of it like you are to know where these grants are and why they have not yet gone live with the person appearing here that was just sworn in as your new SBA head. Elsewhere, a lot of surprising developments, and those included today the housing market. The housing market is not doing well. Housing market dropped in February. This is because of two factors. One, rising 10-year Treasury notes, and two, increasing lumber numbers. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at Realtor, says the fact that there's a decline in sales, the days on the market are swift, and the prices are rising. The number of homes for sale fell 29.5% in the last month, the biggest drop in U.S. history. Meantime, another big development happening overnight. 21 states are now saying we eased restrictions on COVID too quickly. Among them is New Jersey, which you're seeing right now. New Jersey's Governor Phil Murphy, in a statement this morning, said that he's not pleased about the reopening plans and is going to change his path. The state's 7-day average of new cases has increased 10% since last week. My guess is we won't be opening further capacity for some time now because of the caseload, Governor Phil Murphy said in a statement this morning. And this is after Dr. Fauci advised the public over the weekend that he is deeply worried about where the virus is going. He says that the concern is that there is a resurgence of the virus overseas, internationally, and that resurgence of the virus suggests that we could be next. The concern is that throughout the country, there's a number of states, cities, and countries that are pulling back some of the mitigation methods we've been talking about, said Fauci. We're at the position right now that we've plateaued at about 53,000 cases per day. Fauci says that's too many cases and that we have not flattened the curve. Rather, the curve remains plateaued at a very high level of 53,000. The great news, if you're just joining me, is that more bank accounts will start to show deposits of a $1,400 third stimulus check today. Those deposits will continue as they started over the weekend. An example was Teresa on Friday. She said, LALATE, I heard you say on St. Patrick's Day that Green Dot was doing deposits. I didn't get mine, but I got mine on Friday. Tell viewers, don't worry, it comes. And another viewer got it on Saturday. I've had a lot of viewers where the sister got the deposit, but the brother didn't. Where the girlfriend got the deposit, but the other did not. And they bank at the same bank in the same town. What should you know? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. That ultimately it has to do with the banks, and they're processing a lot of checks. And for reasons we will never know, they'll process one person's check on one day and may process another person's check a few days later. It is coming. These, again, are the banks that have paid out stimulus checks so far to viewers of this channel. If you're just joining me, Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Chime. In the case of Bancorp Chime, for example, they paid out the first 24 hours. Yes. And then a lot of viewers, tons of viewers, said, I didn't get anything from Bancorp Chime. And then they started to get more viewers, started to get more. PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, you just heard, People's United Bank, US Bank, PNC, and Capital One Bank. Also, Lake Michigan Credit Union, USAA, Union Bank, MetaBank, Amex Bluebird, Navy Federal, BB&T, Wood Forest, also Bank America, Chase, Wells Fargo, H&R Block Green Emerald Card, and also TurboTax. In addition to more deposits occurring today, more checks will land in the mailboxes today. And that big push, however, will happen around the 26th. Of the dates that viewers are getting alerts of a deposit of a check coming in the mailbox, the 26th is the most common date, followed by then the 27th, the 28th, and also the 25th. Ironically, when viewers looked for stimulus updates from irs.gov, the reoccurring message was 24 to 27. It was not giving 23 or 22nd an update, even though some have now started to show the deposits occurring across the board. Elsewhere, forced stimulus started to heat up this morning. It heated up last week as Bernie Sanders talked about the need for forced stimulus. But earlier today, the president's economic advisor appeared on broadcast news and talked about the next stimulus package. Some call it infrastructure bill, which she did. And the number one question she was asked right off the bat is, are you raising our taxes to pay for this? The response was not particularly clear. Understand, the forced stimulus package will have, according to Democrats in both the House and the Senate, who are blocking the vote unless they get this, a reoccurring stimulus check. They don't say the amount and they don't say how long, but the implication is $2,000 approximately to the end of this year, which would be $12,000 to $16,000. This would be for you. If you make less than $75,000, if you're tuning in for third stimulus, you would qualify for fourth stimulus as well. And the amount is more than FPUC retro. The amount is more than hazard pay, and the amount is 5 times the amount of SSI, SSDI, Social Security of $2,400. $12,000 is a lot of money. And the president's response is he is going to raise taxes. The question is, who is he going to raise taxes on? I'll have more about these developing details. And guess what? The next video after this, I go live into the chat with you. And we go over direct deposit. So if you received a stimulus check today, or your friend or your neighbor received a stimulus check today, jump into the next video with me where I live chat with you and we discuss what's happening this very moment. Also go over with me in the live chat coming up over after this, what you have not received, what someone maybe in your household has received. Also, over the weekend, I got a lot of questions about half checks and partial checks, to which I still don't know the question. I don't know what the question really is asking. Remember, if you make over $75,000, the check starts to phase out. The check goes off your 2019 or 2020 tax return. You don't have to file a tax return to get the stimulus check. But if you saw less than $1,400, let's say $1,300, that might be because IRS thought you need to be phased out slightly over $75,000. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single recording today. I'll be live throughout the day. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. Meantime, also consider becoming a member. Purple Power or Calcino VIP. Thank you for joining me on Early Mornings LALATE, and the excitement continues on Mornings LALATE right after this in just 2 minutes as another video starts live on this channel. Jump into that video, and I look forward to seeing you there.